And we are finally live.
Hey,
There we go. What time is it right now?
it's
Let's tell people
10:12.
what time it is. It's 10:12 p.m. on a weekday night,
Wednesday, hump
Wednesday
day.
night. And we've been meaning to get this episode rolling and starting for some time now. It's been like a few weeks since we've been like back and
Weeks.
forth.
I think it's been longer.
Probably months,
Yeah.
right? When
Cause I think you went on like a little. You took some time for yourself.
and then I traveled and then I
Yeah,
just
man.
had to kind of like find myself.
Yeah, no, that's good though. I do
It
that
was
sometimes.
yeah. So, which episode? Because I remember that it was a podcast episode that you came across my page. I think.
Yeah.
Whose episode was it?
Samara's, cause I follow
Samara's
Samara. Yeah, I
episode.
follow Samara,
Okay.
and then I
so
saw.
it has been a while.
Yeah. It's been a while, and then I saw you. I never knew who you were.
Yeah.
So, and I saw you do podcasts, and you were Brazilian, and I was like, oh.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
cool. And then I looked into you and I saw your creative side and
that's crazy, right? Like
your knowledgeable side, and I fuck with that.
I appreciate it, and it's crazy how like social media, right? It's like from like the domino effect kind of thing.
Yo.
Through
for
Samara,
real.
then you found out, and then now
Yeah,
we're here.
And also like creatives. I feel like creatives just kind of pass on like this.
Yeah, and they also like it
Torch.
takes one to recognize one too,
Yeah.
right? Because a lot of people maybe they'll overlook a certain person's creative side, but then if you're creative, you'll see what most people don't see, which is
Like a
Which is
good
awesome.
heart,
yeah,
good
yeah,
characteristics.
yeah.
But yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while,
It's been a while.
but we finally made it happen, and that's something that I'm,
Yes.
trying my best to
Divine timing.
manage expectations too. Like one of the questions I think is about DMs, DMing, and just like
Yes, sir.
how difficult it is to respond and to stay on top of your DM game.
Right.
And I just want to make this little PSA, this little public service announcement to all of my followers, all of the people. Like I've had relationships ruined because of my lack of response. And I wanted to like just quickly and briefly touch on that because I think it's important to shed some light on just the whole like managing
Making
the
time.
management of expectations.
Because we were just
even.
talking about you
Yeah.
taking time for yourself too.
Yeah.
I think it's a good way to start.
Yeah. And it ties into ultimately like mental health too. It's like you're in this realm of social media and you're obviously trying to build a brand. Like I'm trying to build a brand, quote unquote. So like everybody's trying to build their brand, right? And then in order for you to build a brand, you have to inevitably sacrifice your time, your soul, quote unquote,
Yes.
like parts of your soul.
Yes,
and you have
sir.
to give yourself like parts of yourself to other
sacrifice,
people.
yeah.
Yeah. In order for you to build, in order for you to grow, which is anything in life. And I'm not like complaining or saying that that's a negative thing. It's just
Right.
that it gets to a point where you have to either you establish like a balance, a firm balance, and you can traverse down that road with that balance in mind, or you just go all in and then you get
then
to a point where it's like,
It's like,
fuck,
fuck,
I
yeah,
can't.
I need to breathe. I need to
need-
get outside. I need to like go hug a tree.
Yeah.
Take off the shoes.
Go hug a tree,
Go
swim
transcendentalist
naked
for a little while, man.
Yeah.
Like, ever watched Into the Wild?
I tried watching that movie.
My, I think like seventh?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm lying. It was in high school. Sophomore year, my sophomore, sorry, that was a little too loud.
No, it's
A
fine.
sophomore English teacher, she showed me that movie and she made the whole class watch it. But when I saw that movie, I was like, wow, like this is insane. I don't know if you said you saw it.
I saw like half of it, like twice. I tried watching the whole movie, and I have to watch it
Yeah.
because I know it's a classic and it's just very impactful.
Yeah, it impacted me for
Yeah.
sure,
How
especially
so?
at a young mind, like at a young age with a young mind, you know,
Yeah.
like just seeing what I was kind of going into. Like I'm still in high school, so I have freedom to do whatever I want. I
Yeah.
don't have that many responsibilities. I'm still learning about everything, but seeing that guy in his position, you know, I think his position was kind of like he had everything.
Wealthy family. and stuff, yeah.
Had everything handed to him,
Yeah.
and he kind of just fed up with it,
Yeah.
and I guess wasn't happy with how his life was. He wanted to live
Freely.
Yeah, that's how I think that's what we all really want. That's why I feel like even people come to America because they want to be more free. They want freedom, you know? They want to not only freedom but like financially.
Yeah.
Financial freedom opens a lot more freedom, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to me, I was just like, wow, like that's amazing that he just did it. was sad that I don't know if you didn't see the end.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Should I?
You could say
whatever. He
because
dies.
because it's
Because
been
he
like
eats some poisonous blueberries or something like that.
That's crazy.
Some berries, and he's just trying to survive and doing his best, reading like some books that he brought to see what he could eat. But he was like dying regardless. So once he ate the berries and it was poisonous,
it was
curtains. But besides that, the point of it is that, you know, we're going into a society that's very
all the time. Always.
They want to put you in this box, you know.
Okay.
And it's suffocating.
Yeah.
So to me at that time, I was just like, wow, like what's gonna happen to me now, you know?
Yeah. Do you think that ultimately happens in reality? Like you briefly touched on the fact that, you know, immigrants come to the U.S. with that mentality of seeking freedom, seeking bliss, seeking the American way of life, right? That's often propagated. It's distributed by Hollywood, you know, that ideal utopian lifestyle of like you'll
the American dream.
Yeah, American dream. You'll mortgage your house. You'll be able to get the house of your dreams, all that stuff. To me, like, I find that very ironic because most of the time, the opposite happens where they come here and they become prisoners of
lost.
The dream that they were trying to pursue.
Exactly.
And then the dream was actually just sugar-coated.
Exactly.
And had no real, like, there's, like, really nothing there.
Exactly. Because they're not grateful, I feel like.
That too, yeah.
I think, like, when you're grateful for just life,
you'll be happy anywhere.
You'll be happy anywhere, and you don't want a lot.
Yeah.
You just want to be.
That's
and
true.
when you just want to be, you're cool anywhere, like you said.
Yeah.
You know, but you always need to tap back in to maybe where we came from, Brazil, you know.
Yeah.
I always want to go back to Brazil and to reconnect with nature. And I always want to go do transcendentalist things now. I always think about it like, do I just want to run away and throw everything away? But then I'm like, nah, look, everything I've worked for.
That's true too.
Like I've worked too hard for too long, and in my mind, since I was a kid, I knew like I was meant for something, you know. So I'm like, something impactful, something that helped, something that pushed life forward. And I didn't know how I would do that or all the things that I know now about how to do it, but I knew that. So I always, you know, think about that.
Were you always spiritual thinking or spiritual centric? Like you touched on being
Then I became a spiritual thinker. Eventually. Yeah.
Like what led you down that path? Like was there a pivotal moment?
Just like when I couldn't come to humans, which was like a majority of the time as a kid, because when you're a kid you don't know anything. Yeah. And not only that, but people are hiding things from you to protect you.
Oh, that's powerful. Yeah.
And
true.
And not only that, it's like I already was seeing so much of a hurt world, exactly, hurt reality of people being, you know, affected by, in a negative way, by their own minds, you know? And that kind of just, honestly, I don't know.
Just kind of forced your hand maybe to like consider other options? Because I personally think that from a creative standpoint, I found that I'm the most creative in my way of thinking and most, I guess, encompassing. Like how do I say this? I'm more dynamic when I'm forced into a corner creatively. So it's kind of like, be it these limitations that I impose on myself or limitations from outside forces or sources. I'll find that if I'm not in control, I kind of force myself creatively to find a way or to create a reality where I find control again.
So do you tap into like a spiritual side of you to do that too?
I want to say spiritual, but I don't know what that means. Right. So it's kind of...
We really don't.
Yeah.
When I tap into this spiritual side of me, I mean, first it was centric, right? Just was built inside of me. I had this gut feeling that I was meant for something great, that I was going to impact people's lives and help. Maybe like I said, not in that aspect yet. I just knew I had a gut feeling, you know. And the whole moon aspect that people ask me to this day, why do you have a moon there? And I'm just like if I have to tell you, I have to explain to you my whole life because that's what it took for me to like understand. Right. Like that's what got me here. So, but in sense of like, honestly, like I was telling you earlier in the car, actually, like physical, spiritual, I just connected with things that nobody could answer to me. Like, why is the moon there? What are the stars? Like, I was so into astronomy because of that, because nobody could really answer those things. I mean, science could, once I started going to school, I started like, oh, this is interesting, because now I could learn about these things that I question. And science is teaching me kind of, but the spirituality is what made me feel the connection. And so I asked, I like wanted to grab onto something that was going to move me. And so spirituality was there.
It's funny because science, right? Like we want to believe that science is this authority figure in life, but I personally think that science does its best to interpret things.
Right.
So even when you say like, oh, like gravity is this, gravity is that, like that's our interpretation of what it is.
It's there.
It's there
for us to study and further comprehend.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's meant for us all to comprehend right away anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I like to go about certain things in life from a perspective of kind of just not giving us humans like too much credit, if you will, or just putting ourselves on a pedestal.
Because I feel like humans think, not everybody, I'm say some humans think that they're the top of the world,
the center of the universe,
And screw all the animals, screw all the everything else, screw the life on the planet. I'm important and nothing else is. That is huge. So and continue.
That's ego, right?
Yeah.
I think that ego, and then there's the dichotomy of ego. Like there's the positives and the negatives of having an ego. Like I don't think that we would get to where we are as a society, like progressively, if we didn't have an ego to motivate us. So we have to have ego. But at the same time, I think that ego can lead to our destruction. Like it can lead to our demise, which it kind of already is. So like, how do you find like a balancing point in the middle when you have just like 7 billion people on this planet? Like it's hard for you to manage ego. Man. Like if you're managing a company or even a team of maybe
why we live in such a crazy world.
Yeah, because the dynamic is unpredictable.
Like for those people who don't know why the world is so crazy, it's because it has to be.
Yeah.
At this point, to move forward, it has to be that way.
It has to be like that.
And we're gonna get there, but
it
has to be a little messed up for us to get it right.
Do you believe in the simulation theory?
Yeah. Matrix and like
Matrix and stuff.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, like the fabric of reality, right? Like what is reality?
Right.
Like I'll find myself just contemplating these like weird thoughts.
Like we were talking about in the car. Like
about
like the universe and our minds aren't like the universe. We are one because without the mind we can't perceive the universe. So it's like what you were saying. Continue.
So we assimilate reality through this little machine that we have. That's the brain. And you said that it's the most powerful machine in the universe, right?
Yes.
And I think
because it is the universe. I think.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing else.
Yeah, just like you said when I said something about time, and then you said that now it's a thing.
Right.
Because I made it a thing.
You made it a thing. You put it to your mind and you created reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. That's crazy.
In the bag.
That's crazy. And like we were talking briefly about the idea of time, and I was thinking a lot about this earlier today, about how how is the past if it already happened? So it happened before us.
A lot of people won't get that. I can already feel that.
Yeah, like, but I still don't get it. Right. It's like if something already happened, that means it was in the future. So it was ahead of us. Exactly. So it happened before I was born. So it was ahead of me.
Right.
But it's in the past.
Because time is an illusion.
Time is a construct.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a human construct.
Yes. We need it to manage.
Yeah, to manage the chaos of society.
And our needs.
I was reading
even wants,
because everything gets filtered through that sense of urgency.
Your wants instead of your needs, you're gonna be messed up, my boy.
And that need of urgency too, and I think that
your life's not gonna click.
Yeah, like I was reading about how around the Industrial Revolution, they had to create clocks and they had to synchronize, exports, imports. And that moved the economy because of just the ability to count something that we perceive as real, and that's
amazing.
Completely made up.
Right.
But
it
we've
helped.
managed to create a universe around it. If you think
evolve.
About it. Yeah. Dude, that's fucking crazy.
That's amazing. Like, that's why now it makes me, like, even in high school, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You got time. You got time. Yeah. Every older person says that to me. Sure. And then every younger person doesn't say anything. And I'm like, oh, the young person clearly has more life and more time than me. Yeah. And older people just think I have more time. They'll never think that I have time. Yeah. That I don't have time, That I don't have time. And sometimes that's how I feel, like, oh, I'm running out of time. But I know I have time. Yeah. I'm 22, chill. Yeah. I got time. Yeah. But I don't got time to mess around. I got to do the things I'm here to do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I got to get to it, or the doors are going to start closing. Yeah. That's how spirituality comes into aspect too with that. Yeah. Because it's like, if I don't tap in, I know the doors are going to close. Yeah. But it's like not just not just financial succession. I'm talking about everything, like your heart, your mind.
In all aspects.
Everything.
Yeah. Are you a fan of Mac Miller?
Dude. What?
Yeah.
I went to high school like almost every day listening to Wake Up or Get Up, sorry. I used to wake up and put that song, Get Up. Bro. Get Up. That song used to get me going, man. Yeah. All my friends when he passed were like, yo, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Don't worry about it. It's life, shit's happening, but yo, he's still here, like, very present. And he called it, of course. And
yeah, it's fascinating to me.
I'm gonna be here for a while longer than I did expect to. Like, And not only that, dude, I felt like he was just such a good heart. Like, he shared that light. Mm-hmm. He never wanted to hurt anybody. And even through his music, like, it wasn't even, a lot of artists don't want to hurt people, but by their decisions of like greed, like ego, use of guns, because they want to blow up. They want to become the main attention. Mainstream, so they sacrifice their own morals for that.
Integrity.
And exactly. And I feel like even when he made songs that were like, okay, a little bit, fucked around a little bit.
Egotistic.
But it was just his fun. He was just having fun. Yeah. And he shared that like fun since the beginning, since Donald Trump, since Ironic.
Great hit, by the way.
Yo, for real.
and he got sued.
Best day ever, no matter where life takes me, find me with a smile. That shit is in my heart until I die too.
Yeah, bro.
I promise you. What a great fucking dude. I'm so glad that I got to listen to like his growth, because I remember when he was just blowing up and everybody was wearing the crew necks with the baby thumbs up. I was like, what's that? Because it was like the snapbacks were coming back.
So something new and different.
Yo, it was like,
and what you just said is the way I see it too. It's like people get sad that he died, but I think that we should be grateful that he existed. It's like it's like that difference in viewing it. It's like that completely
piece of art, man.
Yeah. He's like uber talented, man. Like that, like you'll see him just cook up a track and cook up like a whole song, like a hit, just like playing around, fucking around, and then he'll turn to the camera and say, nah, like that's just for fun.
Yeah.
And he'll just like be vibing and just playing instruments, playing the bass, playing
But that's what it is. I think a lot of people disconnect the heart and talent. Because like I feel like when you have heart and you put a lot of love into your passion, the results are always going to be something worthy.
Great.
So depending on people's hard opinions, they might not like it, but majority of people will feel it. They'll levitate towards it.
Resonate with it too. I saw in his interview with Larry King, he briefly spoke about having aliases. So he has these characters that he created towards the end of his life, which I found fascinating from a psychological perspective, because I like to view things from like psychological
Recently I've been
framework.
Like,
I love
I've been getting into it, man.
I think that psychology is essential for you to not only progress in this life, but to connect with other people. Because if you don't understand the brain, if you don't understand empathy, if you don't deploy that, if you don't nurture it, train it, just like any other muscle,
Water the seas, baby.
just like any other muscle in your body, like you have to train it.
Yeah.
It's like otherwise you can't operate within society.
You gotta let it rest.
Yeah,
Rebuild.
yeah.
But you
have to nurture it and strengthen it.
So
and then,
I think you were getting into something.
yeah. And then so the fact that he
was creating people.
Was creating people in his mind, and I forgot what their
were
names
they
were.
like replicas of himself?
No. So what I found is that he would compartmentalize his pain, I think. So one, for example,
is that why you made that one episode where you were like in the shower?
Yeah.
Because like I felt like you made that. That's not you at this point in your life.
So that episode, like,
but
let's just like go just like go off track real quick and just talk about that episode. That episode is actually my favorite piece of content that I put out, and it's ironically the most underrated one that I have. Like,
I'm
less
pretty sure
views
I showed some love.
No, you did, and I appreciate it. But like that piece of content was like, it was to show like I was at that point in my life.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
I thought you like
no. So like that was the point where I was,
because everything you're doing.
Yeah,
I'm thinking, oh, he's chilling, he's fine. He's just putting on like this because you have to. I felt like this is your life. You're like you're constructing everything, so you want to you want to put things together. And, but no. I definitely want to know more about this now.
So that was the darkest point of my life, kind of thing. So like that preceded the moment when I told you that I had to like travel and just go like rest a little bit.
That makes sense now. Completely.
So it was like a pivotal point. Like I was about to like break at that moment.
Oh, we were talking about you gotta like you know
balance. You're
gonna get to that point where
you just
gonna drop everything.
So I did exactly that. Where I was posting those Coffee with Callie episodes, where I would just like talk about like the random subjects or whatever. So I was trying to put those out.
Remember I told you I was like, yo, I'm liking this this concept. You're like throwing things together and you're just like creatively going off. And I thought that was like the solution. But what I found is that I actually got fatigued from it. I think you were this happened to me recently with music, bro. Weird, but like trying to figure out what everybody I don't want to be like anybody else, but trying to figure out what works, right? Yeah. Trying to figure out what works and trying to get a little bit of from here, a little bit of inspiration from there. Experiment with everything. And just like, and it was like too much. Yeah. And then after that, it was kind of like put it to the side and you did your own thing for a little bit. And then I came back. Took a breath and you came back to do your own thing now. Yeah. But with that still in mind, I feel like. And the 100%. Lesson and the experience. 100%. The scar kind of thing. Yeah. I like to think of, like every setback, like people develop emotional scars, psychological scars. They develop real scars, physical scars. Yeah. And they're all scars. Like they all need to be treated, but they won't ever disappear. Mm-hmm. And so that moment, for example, I was trying to portray the duality of not only what I felt was a representation of social media, but at the same time, it was what I felt like I was being coerced and forced by how do I explain this? Right. It's like your higher self. You just wanna, know where you belong. Yeah, but I was feeling forced to kind of put on this performance for people every single day, even though it was something that I wanted to do. Right. And then I just felt like... But you still gotta feed to these people, so you want to make sure that these people are into it. Yeah. And they're like I said, getting something from it. Value from it. Value. Yeah. And then I just got to a point where I just felt, tired. And then that's why the whole video was like, it shows, for example, when the cameras are on, I felt that I had to put on a performance of who I wasn't as a person. Like I couldn't be real. That's why I like doing this podcast, because like it's hard for anyone to put up a facade for like 2 hours long. Because it eventually starts with somebody else. Exactly, like connecting with somebody else. It's an authentic form of communication. It's like a real experience, as opposed to me, like just sitting over there and thinking about like scripts and stuff for an episode. I'm like, bro, like this is scripted. You're forcing it. You have no idea what the person is thinking yet. You haven't even talked to them yet. Like me and you, we haven't even met before this. So exactly, yeah. You're gonna write down what? Yeah, yeah. So, and also, this is this is definitely the way.
Yeah.
I like this.
And also just what you said now too, it's like how like this episode will, regardless of anything that happens, will be authentic because we are two people who are authentic, who are having an authentic engagement and an authentic conversation, as opposed to like me trying. So I felt like I was looking outwardly and seeing like, oh, like this might work, but work for what? For views, for followings? Like what was I chasing? I didn't know what I was chasing.
That's a good point because I really didn't look at it from that perspective yet.
Yeah. So like I didn't know what I was chasing, and then on the car ride over here, I told you that I came to the realization that I could care less about metrics and shit, like views or whatever. Like how many views does someone have? How many views
who's watching and their opinion.
Did they like it? Did they comment? It's like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
So like right now, it's kind of like this. I like to think of this as like a selfish thing where it allows me to reach out to someone who I'm interested in, who I find it interesting, and have a conversation that I wouldn't do otherwise.
And whoever wants to watch and maybe
finds value from it.
Finds value.
Good for you.
Good for you. Yeah. I'm happy you found value.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that we're here.
Yeah. So that becomes like a byproduct instead of the product itself. So this is a product. So like that's when I found my creative lane kind of thing. So like it took me to like almost break kind of thing. I was
yeah, for sure. That's the same with me with music, man.
Yeah.
I was like at a point where like, damn, like I know I got talent.
Yeah.
I know like people are already, you know, certain songs that I released in the last few, in the last year, you know, different signs from people that I grew up around that never really talked to me and then came up to me, oh, I heard this song. And I'm like, oh, you know, keep that in mind.
Yeah.
A random person just came up to me and said that they heard my song. They didn't say they liked it, but they said they heard it. So it's like, okay, that means that they're watching, you know, they're waiting. Yeah. And it's like, okay. And I was trying to like feed expectations kind of, but never been too much for like putting on a facade. Never.
Okay. Yeah.
Never. But
to, like, please
I
other
do
people.
want to, you know, like you said, do what I feel is right for myself. So, and for my goal, my mission, which is just to influence mainly is to spread positivity and spread love, you know, and also with the whole awareness, because I was in like a little chapter in my life where I've always been like kind of tapped into the source, kind of like in a way where I'm kind of skeptical about not everything, but I'm skeptical about physical things that we can consume and things that we learn that from sorry, this is like really deep, from the past generations.
Okay.
Because like Gary Vee says, the only thing you should be used to is change. So like I'm constantly looking for things to change, not only about myself but around me, you know. Friends. Not that I want to throw away friends and get new ones all the time, just because I know like things are constantly changing. Time is constantly moving. Every day is a different day. Every day people are making better choices, worse choices. So I'm like constantly trying to figure out what I need to do. And with the whole consciousness and the whole awareness and finally seeing everything where it's at with everything, like almost before this war thing even came up, that's when I was like, wow, I found out some crazy information I never heard before in my life. And then I was just like, wow. And that it really like jabbed me in the chest.
What was the information that you found?
It was like a crazy interview I watched. It wasn't even an interview. It was a final. I don't even want to say this in front of cameras, but I'm going to do it anyways. And then you could chop it out later if you want. Right. It was David Goldberg's final words. This guy. I don't want to make this a conspiracy theory fucking podcast, but we're going to do it anyway. Oh shit. So I watched, this guy I followed for super long.
Okay.
The funny thing is 070 Shake used to follow him and promote him.
Okay.
And then she stopped. But I found him through her. This guy's called Third Eye Opener on Instagram.
Okay.
And he's been through like, I've been watching his journey. And lately I've been less like active on his account because of how much he gets censored. And I don't want that to backfire on me and my music and
So like be influenced. Yeah.
everything that I've been going through with the whole, suffocating aspect on my side. Was that. So I've been watching his journey, and he only wants to warn people about the other side, kind of.
Okay.
Like the people who want to suppress the truth, want to suppress the information that will help life move forward.
Rewrite history type of thing, right? Because there are people
that's what he wants to do, essentially. He wants to, he's a revolutionist in his mind. Like, he just doesn't like the way the system is, Yeah. And I don't disagree, and right at this point in my life now, I don't agree either, because now I have to take a step back,
and like analyze it objectively, try to
not just analyze, because that's the part I've already done now. Now I already know what's going on. Now I'm like up to date constantly, but now I'm just kind of taking control of my life. I need to focus on my life. I need to focus on my goals, my mission, and then that's how I will affect the world the most. And I realize that I'm not gonna affect the world by doing what he's doing,
or being consumed.
Not
by
that he's
right?
doing anything wrong, because that's his mission, but I'm not supposed to be a truth teller. I'm supposed to be a musician, from what I know, I guess. But essentially, like, just the whole learning everything about consciousness and being aware of the things I wasn't aware about before. And like, when you tap into your, like, they would say third eye,
higher self, maybe.
Your pineal gland is like your physical third eye. I guess that's when I got suffocated, because I tapped in like so much, and everything hit me. And then so I took that step back recently, like you know, and things just started getting better. I felt good every day again. And like, a relief, man. And like I said, it makes me proud to see these people together and talking, and like us even. So like, oh man. But David Goldberg, he was a government official, passed away last year in June. But on Google now, it's gonna tell you something else. It's gonna tell you 2015.
Let's check it.
Check it. David Goldberg. I don't want your YouTube being censored, man.
Nah, that's fine.
Look,
died May
2015, right?
Okay, so
and
this guy was a
in
government
this
official.
final words video, he's mentioning stuff that's happening in 2018. Not only this is the information. I found this out because I was showing friends, and I was telling them, yo, like, this guy died last year, and then they searched it up. Oh, here it says that he died. My friend was like, oh, here it says that he died 2015. I'm like, whoa, what? What are you talking about? And then he was like, no, look. And I was like, no, dude, I'll play the final words video right now, and you'll see him, you'll hear him talking about Donald Trump being president, everything, bro. And I'm like, this makes no sense. And he says that he died on a treadmill. Makes absolute no sense, but whatever. I don't want to get into that, bro. Like, that's where I got suffocated, in that corner. Because I was just like, is this real? And is this, are they hiding this? Are they hiding that? Fuck them. They're not going to win. Love is going to win. Positivity is going to win. We're going to manifest the world we want to manifest. And nothing's going to get in the way of the light. Just saying. So this is all just, cover up this, cover up that. Fucking Epstein didn't die, didn't kill himself, and now he supposedly was killed. Whatever. Whatever it is, it is. Because you're still not gonna defeat the light.
I get that though, and I think that a lot of people can relate to that in a sense where, like, if you follow the news, even like regular news, if you turn on the news,
I don't know what news to listen to anymore.
And you're like always every single day religiously plugged into CNN, to Fox News.
Seriously,
you'll get suffocated.
That's where the gut comes in, the intuition we were talking about.
Okay,
it's kind of like no matter what you're watching now, it's 2020. Up is down. Everybody's saying this. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what is what, but
you don't.
You can feel it.
You can feel what's real.
You can feel what's real.
Yeah, intuition wise.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, and you just get overwhelmed with negativity too.
Yeah,
it's like,
man.
It's just
that's what I'm saying. Like, how is this all happening?
Yeah.
And then as soon as this guy made this video about the agendas 2030, and then Cali went on fire, and then fucking the power went out in half of the fucking state or some shit like that. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
you're gonna tell me this doesn't make complete fucking sense because he called it?
Yeah.
And then now he's dead in 2015 supposedly. So whatever. Let's not get into that.
Anyways, yeah. Yeah.
But
Nah,
you see, you feel me now though, right?
Yeah.
Like, you see where I'm coming from with that.
I 100% think that the government does shady shit. Like, obviously they'll do shady shit because it gets to a point where it, like, when you control news outlets and you control just how people perceive reality.
But
like,
what we were saying about it having to be that way,
yeah,
I kind of feel like it might have to be that way right now too. Like,
I think so, yeah.
Because, like, I don't know, world order. We need world order.
Yeah. No,
We can't have everybody going crazy because people are bad. There's bad people in this place.
Yeah.
And there's good people who won't do anything about the bad, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's just, I mean, we'll do something about the bad, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's complicated.
It's very complicated. And if you look at it from the perspective of just humanity's history, like, again, it ties back to what I said before at the beginning of the episode of, like, how we like to give ourselves more credit than we deserve type of thing. Like, we're literally just talking apes floating in infinite space on like a giant rock or some shit. And then I think that since we have this primitive wiring and just cognitive framework that it, like, is a result of thousands and thousands of years of just genetic mutations, I don't think that we'll ever be able to evolve into a world that's only positivity organically. Like, I think that we might be able in, like, millions and millions of years ahead, but I don't think it'll be like a shift where, like, 2030, the world peace forever. It's like that will only happen if we get to a point, which I think we will, where we'll start becoming bionomic and we'll start integrating technology with our own genetic makeup. And we're already at that point with, like, CRISPR and genetic alterations and how to alter your genetic code and create a baby with blue eyes and brown skin and this and that. And you can, like, manipulate the fabric of reality. So once we get to that point, then I think we'll ultimately destroy ourselves.
Yeah.
And it'll be like the whole Mary Shelley Frankenstein type of thing. It's like Frankenstein turns on its creator. So so someone asked, like, what's my biggest fear? I think that my biggest fear is just
that robots, right?
The inevitability, I think, of a technological revolution that will ultimately look at us and be like, why are these primitive chimps?
Why are they alive?
Like, why are they running the world? Like, if we eliminate 7 billion of them, it'll be much more efficient for the prosperity of this planet. So then just boom. And then, but I don't think it'll be like a
but then, like, we'll still be alive.
We could, if they allow us to be alive.
Through the technology. Like, like, our data is what they know.
Yeah.
So, like, our brain is their data, basically.
And then we're gods, right? So then that's when humans become gods type of thing. Yeah.
I mean, like, I feel like we're always gods, but definitely not everybody's tapped into that mindset yet.
No, yeah.
But no, I get what you're saying as in terms of, like, moving on to the next life kind of thing.
Because I think, again, going back to the whole rewriting history thing, I think that we have no idea how advanced past civilizations really were.
Dude, I love that topic.
Yeah. Like, I'm obsessed with
my first Europe trip. Everyone goes to Paris. Everyone goes to London.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go to Bosnia.
Why?
The Bosnian pyramids.
Oh, the Bosnian pyramids.
Bosnian healing pyramids.
Healing pyramids.
Healing pyramids.
Okay, please expand.
Bro.
Let's actually
pull this up on YouTube.
Bosnia healing pyramids.
Healing pyramid energy or healing. Yeah.
Let's see what pops up.
Right there, the second one. It's an hour long, but you don't have to. We're not gonna watch it. I just want to, like, skim through it real quick. This guy's a genius. I love this guy. Not this guy. This is like episode? A doctor, but I skipped this part because this archaeologist is a genius, and you can tell how happy he is explaining all this stuff.
Passionate about
right there. Leave it there. Those are blocks. these are blocks in the tunnels of the pyramids that are still being discovered. These tunnels.
And how old are they? Do you know?
Way too old.
Yeah. Do you know about Gobekli Tepe? Tepe? No. Do you know about Plato's?
You heard that?
What?
Geometric field. They're trying to measure
The energetic frequencies
and what kind of energies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, these blocks are blocking, and there's still energy flowing through these tunnels. Negative ions is what they're called, I think. And the blocks are blocking the main points of the energies, and they're like on a geometric line. These blocks that are perfectly aligned, and their math was incredible, and they sealed those blocks, and we can't even unseal them right now. You know, we gotta like figure out how to do that. I don't know. If you watch this, you'll learn all about it. But the point is, what he was saying is that if we open those blocks and we have the energy flowing through the pyramids,
we could use it.
It'll flourish the rest of life around it with more frequencies that help life thrive. Plants, children, animals, everything. Air. The combination of all the elements, I feel like, will just thrive. And everything. I don't know, dude. This is like next level.
That's dope. Yeah.
And they left the scriptures on the wall saying the gate is now closed. Bro, this is gonna change your life.
Really?
The gate is closed, but when you open it, that's when I think,
shit.
yeah, dude. That's what it says. It says joy. They little words to play with, and they do play with them, and that's what they get. Like the gate. You should watch this.
Wow.
And I recently just watched a documentary about root cause. It's about root canals. Very important documentary. Changed my life.
Canals.
Changed my life in the sense that I gotta get a root canal soon, probably. Not sure, because I think I can heal from it, but I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I'm putting it to my mind that I can. So that's like another big one you should put in there. And anybody who wants to watch that one too, root cause.
Damn.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Like I'm fascinated about just the archaeology aspect of things. Like like this guy's probably an archaeologist, right?
He is, yeah.
Yeah. So, do you know about the cognitive revolution that happened 10,000 years ago? So,
I don't know much about like these topics, but I know what I like in terms of like archaeology. So yeah, go ahead.
Essentially, 10,000 years ago is when historians say that history starts because people learned how to write, people learned how to communicate reality through their own perspective, right? Before 10,000 years ago, the point that precedes that point, we didn't know how to write. We didn't know how to convey messages and how to communicate, or so we thought. And so something happened, and this actually ties into the stoned ape theory, which I don't know if you know about, which essentially ties into mushrooms and psychedelics. And it says that...
That's where you got me.
It says that...
you get me.
It says that we got to a point on the evolutionary scale where we experimented with psychedelic mushrooms, and then that altered our genetic makeup in a way that we can perceive and stimulate consciousness. And so that's and it ties into a lot of religious stuff too, where like there's in the Bible, there's a part where they talk about a burning bush that allowed and enabled Moses, I think, to have a vision of like God talking to him and telling him what to do. And then scientists later found, and I forgot the name of the scientists that are experts at plants. I think it's botanologists. Botanists. Yeah. People who dedicate their lives to plants. Yeah. They found that I think the bush and the type of plant was probably a psychedelic one. So like I think that psychedelic experiences
I love
are the
psychedelics.
foundation of like all religions. and
Like not
stuff.
the drugs themselves, more like the word
Okay.
psychedelic and what it defines.
represents maybe.
Yeah, what it represents, kind of like to me.
What do you like about it? The most?
Just like you can tap in to the source literally, and you feel perspectives. You'll see different perspectives, kind of like
Okay.
you'll be next to somebody. You can just kind of you won't be in their body, but you can just for some
Feel it,
reason you can feel what they're going through. If they're talking to you, it just like you connect with them. I guess it's like the pineal gland thing.
Yeah, you mirror
Yeah.
their experiences, kind
It's
of
just like-
emotions and demeanor.
You don't even need to like try. You're just like you feel them very easily.
I think that's 50% or 70% of like every conversation
Yeah.
comes from like body language.
Yeah.
So like it sets the tone for mood.
Yo,
It sets
for
the tone
real,
for
everything,
everything.
like-
Yeah. But anyways, just tying back down to the archaeology part too. So Göbekli Tepe was this temple that these primitive people built way before they developed the technology for agricultural revolution, where people because like think about it. It was only with the advent of the agricultural revolution that people actually settled down and formed villages and formed communities, because before that they
Farms
were nomads. They were just walking and just moving from one ecosystem to
Right.
another. They would
like
gather foods.
Neanderthals and stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah. And then so this temple was built thousands of years before the first trace of the agricultural revolution. And so what scientists are now conspirizing, I guess, is that there was a transfer of technology and information from a superior race and source
Right.
to these primitive people who didn't know or have the foundation of cultures.
Aliens.
Maybe aliens. And then Plato even says like,
But are
thousands of years-
aliens or is it us? Like not us, but like
Yeah.
different us. Because
I think it's
what is
different us.
Jeff Benz, whatever his name is,
Bezos, genius.
investing in? Space. How are we gonna get space eventually one day? By getting to space somehow, right?
Yeah.
And what if we ever want to come back? What if there's other people here?
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense
Yeah.
to me.
To me, it makes perfect sense in
And-
terms of
Technology too.
yeah.
Like advanced. He says it here. They're super advanced, even though they didn't know how to write like we do.
Yeah.
They wrote differently.
Advanced
they
in
did
different
things
ways.
differently.
Yeah.
They had different
Just cognitive wiring.
wiring.
Just like the Egyptian pyramids, they say that it was a source of a energy converting machine
That's what I'm saying.
that
You
was
go-
like light years ahead of its
he
time.
says
Yeah.
in this video right here, people go to these pyramids to heal.
Yeah.
Like they go there with asthma, never need an inhaler again.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Like even in present day?
Present day. That's why I want to go there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and like he says it too. Other pyramids, like Egypt pyramids, you can't really be an archaeologist yourself there. But if you want to go to help them dig and go through the tunnels and research, and you're just another person that can help. You know, you're another piece to the puzzle. You're another perspective that can go and help and share your
And
ideas and contribute to the evolution of
Humanity.
wherever this can bring us, man.
Yeah. Of humanity.
You
as a
know,
whole.
yeah.
What's your biggest fear in life?
My biggest fear, yeah, like you answered that one, I didn't. I don't know. Like that's my biggest fear, is not knowing what my biggest fear is, because dying, it's like if it's my time, it's my time to die. So like I'm not scared of dying, in the sense of like it's not my time yet. Yeah, I'm scared of dying, but am I really scared of dying? No, you know, like you said, life is delicate. So, but what I'm maybe physically scared of is I'm scared of dangerous things.
Okay.
Like
which is that?
driving fast,
Yeah, natural.
unsafely. You know, everybody likes driving a little fast sometimes, a little fast and furious actually.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, you get what I'm saying. Like
Yeah, sharks.
different
snakes,
situations,
stuff.
exactly. Like depending who's driving, depending what animal I'm around, depending the experience. everything comes into play in my brain.
How about emotional fear?
Emotional fear.
Yeah. Which kind of ties in with the physical fear, but if you were to like isolate it in a
Right.
sense where like you're in a room by yourself, like what do you fear emotionally?
I fear that emotionally, like, I need more from you for a second for me to answer that.
So I guess let me try to answer
Emotionally,
that.
like emotionally from like the worst emotion that I could feel, like, or maybe not worse, but what I'm fearful of, what emotion I'm fearful of, or what I'm fearful of happening in my life that'll affect me and I'll have these emotions.
I'd say if you can transcend your vessel right now and look at yourself, like what's something that you would fear of yourself? If
Not doing what I'm supposed to do with my life.
okay,
And completely giving up and just like bumming it out.
yeah,
And just being like, fuck it. I'm just going to live my life here. But at the same time, I feel like sometimes I'm like, am I doing that? And I'm like, nah, I'm just living my life, just having fun, going with the flow.
okay,
So it's like, but you always need to tap into like work ethic. I just saw Gary Vee post about this and never seen anybody successful not have the work ethic.
yeah.
So I need to work for the work ethic. But that's definitely one thing that I'm super scared of.
And what would be your definition of success?
For me,
Yeah,
just like
personally.
personally, everyone has the American dream.
Yeah,
And so do I, you know? I have an American dream, and that's the same American dream everybody has. But to me, successful is setting up a base right now, which is what I'm doing, a nice foundation,
okay,
which I think you're doing too. Maybe you're a little bit
okay, yeah,
ahead of that. But
yeah,
setting the foundation, the base,
a firm one.
my own, because everyone behind me, no offense to my family, you know, no offense to anyone. I just seen a lot of broken, you know, branches that are incomplete, branches that are alone because the other branches on that branch
A lot of that.
didn't really, I don't know, things just didn't click.
It's just not fortified.
Yeah,
It
like I
wasn't
feel like
nurtured
I feel like your
correctly.
family is a little fortified.
Yeah,
And that's what I kind of want. Like I want a fortified family. I want not only family but just friends.
Yeah,
A group of people. Like you said, no, the communities aspect, kind of like that, but not a community, just a community of people, you know, that love each other, that share good times.
lift each
like,
other, like,
lift each other like we're doing right now.
yeah,
This is definitely like success
for
me.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
succeeding right here.
For sure.
So definitely thumbs up for that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
But that's success, building my business, which also taps into like my passion kind of because I love dogs and I do want to pursue the dog business.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for sure. Because right now with the industry being so toxic with like what you have to, like you were saying, you have to put out this,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
industries won't sign you unless you write songs that have, you talk about cars or the Benz, the latest Benz or the
Certain
the
key
Burberry
terms
or the
that are
frickin-
popular
that
right
you
now.
have to
Yeah.
write about fashion, music, money, and that's how it is. If you want to make it, you want to get signed by one of the biggest labels. You want to get the fattest check. You got to, and I hate that. Like sadly, I love who I am. I love being a musician. I love music, but I hate that. So it's like, oh, that's gonna fuck me up, right?
Yeah.
Because then I'm not gonna be
Mentally,
happy.
too, yeah.
It's not gonna be happy. I'm not
Especially
gonna be
mentally.
happy where I am because I'm not number one on the Billboard.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, wait, but that's not what I want.
Yeah.
Is that really what I want?
Yeah.
Do I want to be number one on the leaderboard? Do I want to like? No, I want to just have fun. You know, do what I love. The rest will come.
Yep.
So the business side is only to keep me on my feet and to support me, my future, my family, my future family, maybe my family that I have now.
Yeah.
You know, that they might need help, stuff like that. Just I want to be helpful. So
course, yeah.
I'm gonna do what I love, and no matter what, whether it's business, and that's how it is now. It's 2020. You gotta have a business, something you like to do, a passion, a hobby. You know,
100%.
so that's what I want to do is just like follow my business, follow my passion, combine both. Eventually, I have freedom, and I could just do whatever I want. You know,
100%.
travel the world,
And just reach financial freedom, which I think is the
go
right
to
way to look
Bosnia
at it.
and
Yeah.
drop $1 million opening those on those blocks.
Just like hire people and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
No,
You know.
no, yeah. And that is the case, right? Like, it's like,
Just a small
yeah.
dive in on my successful aspect, my
No,
point
yeah.
of view on that.
But that's perfect because I think that
good enough.
the music industry, it does a lot of that. It does a lot of that in terms of like, if you look at it from a macro perspective, you'll see that it's this interconnected, entangled mess that's like one label is associated with Rolls-Royce and has a partnership with them, has interest vested in their company. And then
But do
when
I think that me doing that is going to affect my success with music and my numbers? Never.
Yeah, no.
With the way Russ says it all the time.
Russ says it, yeah.
All the time. He says TuneCore paid me the most money I've ever got paid, you know?
Yeah.
And that's a platform. I signed up to DistroKid's, a different one. But DistroKid's newer and, in my opinion, a little better because they have TikTok right away. They had all these good things. So I know I can still succeed. I know my name still can flourish. I know my brand is still gonna. But then again, with the consciousness and awareness, where like I got suffocated because I'm like, damn, like I don't want to be faking my life, knowing I could be helping people. I could be helping people thrive. And not everybody's open to this information because even yesterday I went through a little with one of my boys that isn't so open-minded.
Okay.
But sorry, my boy.
Yeah.
You might not even watch it, so it's cool though, because it's not meant for you at this time, you know. Maybe you will in the future, so whatever. But so it's hectic, man.
And it's also possible, just like you touched on, to kind of create your own following and your own support system. So people more and more don't like, they stop relying on labels. Because what, like, if you think about it, signing to a label now in 2020 isn't the best deal that you can possibly make.
Unless
it's the best
like
one short
really
term.
Good deal.
Short term, it's great.
Short term,
because you get
if
that
I can
fat
do a
check.
short term deal.
Yeah.
And you know.
And then later skim off of that deal. Yeah.
Hey, now I got this many.
And then you can go
I got a
independent.
little bit of money. I got
start...
a little bit of fans.
Exactly.
But I didn't have to do anything I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Great. Amazing.
Or you can just stick it out.
I'm sorry.
And then try to.
We gotta fix this.
No, it's cool.
OCD.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
And then just like go out of that range and then just like build your own platform, just like Russ did, right? Because Russ said that he put out 11 albums and they all flopped.
He put out a lot of music.
Like every week he would put out a song.
Every week he put out a single.
Yeah.
Until one of the singles got numbers, he would put out albums. Yeah. But I think before he actually got big numbers, he was putting out albums regardless.
Or
but
like a song every day.
He hit a certain point where he hit a certain point after he put out a bunch of albums. You're like, this isn't working. So that's when he started. That's when he started. No, I don't think he almost gave up. I mean, maybe there was points in his head where he was like, okay, fuck, I'm almost giving up. But then, nah. But I think what he did was, I remember him talking at the library, was that he was putting out albums and stuff. Mm-hmm. It wasn't really working, so he started dropping singles because he realized people's attention spans weren't that big. So it's like
people aren't able to appreciate full bodies of work anymore, I feel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I see that problem still with people I follow, and maybe even myself. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And like videos I post, music videos, like people will watch the Instagram video. I mean, eventually the views will rack up, but essentially people will see the video, think that's the whole video, you know?
Yeah.
And not that they think that, but they're not eager enough to go in your bio, click on your page.
Yeah, no, because it's too much effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, whatever.
Yeah.
You just gotta figure it out. You just gotta keep doing you.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your opinion on getting inspiration from other creative people, but still managing to make it unique and make it your own? Like, what does that process look like? Because I feel like now with social media and with all of these artists and with all of these singers and musicians, there's just this vast array of like this catalog, this ever expanding catalog of just different styles and different brands and different, like there's girls, for example, female artists that range from Billie Eilish to Rihanna, right? Who are like completely different styles of music, of visuals, of just branding. And in between those two, there's a plethora of different styles, right? So like, how do you go about that environment.
Yeah.
Because like even me, for example, like going into the whole fitness industry, I had to account for all of the like already established brands like Planet Fitness, for example, like all of these other brands. And I had to kind of like study them and learn from them and see what they do right, see what they do wrong, see what they could do better. And then from that, I guess I just took a little bit of each one's body or soul, if you will, and then I kind of just generated my
just took
own
a little
soul.
bit.
Yeah. So you take, but you have to be careful to not replicate, right?
Yeah,
it's kind of like
I feel like I'm never scared of replicating, and that's why I never get to that point.
Okay.
Like where it's actually replicated, because I'm like, I'm just gonna do me. If I don't feel it, I'm not gonna force it.
Oh, okay. So
like when
you're
I'm creating,
free with
when I'm
experimenting.
creating,
Yeah.
When I'm creating, it's usually experimenting, expressing, or just out of boredom.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And what was the question again? How do I get inspirations but don't, replicate?
Yeah, inspiration versus replication.
Yeah, so actually, you know how I said that I don't listen to albums as soon as they come out?
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, did you listen to the whole album? And I'm like, I haven't even opened an album yet.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen the cover yet. And I'm an artist, so people are like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm
like,
like,
you should be.
You should.
On
I'm
top
like,
of it.
yeah, whatever. But this is just how I am. I'm just like, I still use SoundCloud. Like,
see, but even that you should says a lot about who you are, because it says that you're unorthodox with your approach. So it's like if everybody else is listening to this mainstream album, maybe you're just too busy listening to this French artist who you find interesting.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it comes to me. I let things come to me in a way.
And then you feel
but
it.
But also if like, what's up?
And then you feel it, just like you touched on, like intuition.
Yeah, it was like the perfect timing, kind of.
Yeah.
Like if someone's listening to it in the car, and I'm like, oh shit, what song is that? Yeah. And it's like, oh, it's the new Mac Miller song. I'm like, oh shit, dope. And I'll go listen to that one.
And now you'll listen.
And then I'm like, now I'm listening to it, and it makes perfect sense.
And not because you were coerced and forced by society.
By society,
standards.
I never. I mean, not that I think like that. Like, oh, it's society.
Yeah. Fuck society. I'm not gonna do anything.
Yeah, like I don't mind, but I think it's cool,
Yeah.
But I think there's people that like constantly like on the next, onto the next, not you specifically, because some people are onto the next like album. People love music, so they're on the next. But some people are like on everything, trends, fashion, cars. They want everything now.
I think that those people, they don't love it as much as they portray themselves to love it, because I think that they love the idea of fitting into the mold. Right? So they want to be on top of everything.
Is continuing.
Yeah.
So.
And then that derives from acceptance, of being accepted by other people.
Yeah.
And then like right off the bat, when I started following you, like I noticed that you had like this very unorthodox approach, both to like music, both to like your profile, the way that you portray yourself, the way that you like your overall demeanor.
Even the handing out the flowers with the blast off video.
Yeah.
Like to me, that was just like an idea. Like, oh, I'm just gonna hand out flowers. Like,
and it felt right.
It felt right.
Yeah.
Like I love flowers. I love life, and I was handing a little piece of life. Of life to everyone, and I knew the reactions I would get. I knew some people would be like, no, like, who are you? And I knew some people would be like, oh my god, a random person giving me a flower, and I haven't gotten a flower. Maybe I've got one yesterday. Maybe I haven't got one in years. Like that just changed. And if you watch the video, or even if your attention span is small and you watch the video on IG, you can see like the mom. One of them is the mom, and she has a baby carriage, and she hands it to her baby, and you can see the baby grabbing it. And to me, that made the video. I didn't need anything else in the video besides that. I mean, there was great other parts where like that people love, but just like the heart, man, that shit got me.
And I feel like people are disconnected from that, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Why? Because of views, because of
they want the
likes.
car. They want the foreign.
So people would do that baby thing. Like a lot of people, unfortunately, like they'll go about that instance where it's like, oh, like, yo, like there's a baby over there. I want you to film it. Right. I want you to film me handing it over.
I didn't even know that was going to happen.
Exactly.
I just was riding my skateboard around.
But 70% of people, 80% of people have that mindset.
Right.
Of like, that's clicks. Like, that's likes.
Like, let's get that.
People will share that.
Right. Yeah, and that's what drives the clickers away.
Yeah. Which is ironic, right? Yeah. Because it feels forced.
Yeah, of course.
As opposed to being authentic. Like, I read a book called Shareability.
That's why you got to do you. Because I was doing me. Yeah. Like, that's how I feel. And like, me knowing that somebody's going to say no, but I don't really know them, but trying is what like in their mind,
Mm-hmm.
something's happening, and with me too. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm learning kind of in a way,
Yeah.
but I understand. So
Yeah. No, yeah. There's this thing called categorical imperative where basically it says that you should approach scenarios and situations with a feeling of right or wrong type of thing. So I like how most of this conversation
me.
comes back to how like you feel about certain things and how you kind of make your decisions kind of are driven by how you feel about a certain thing, right? So essentially this categorical imperative speaks on that. Speaks like if doing an action feels right, then that feeling of being right should be applied to every other action that's similar to that one action. So it's kind of like defining what's right or wrong for you. So like that's why these people who have that click and like mentality, like they'll even that act of a human experience of handing over to a baby, they'll filter it through that calculative framework.
And even me not knowing, like, oh, this person's definitely gonna take it, this person's not gonna take it. But then it comes to like that time where I don't know. Let's just try.
Just risk it.
Let's just risk it, and let me do what I do, and that's influence and spread love and spread positivity.
100%. And then people can resonate
and it worked,
with it.
Man.
Yeah.
It worked. People, I got a lot of good, like, loving feedback.
Yeah.
And that is good because then I see other gods showing me like you're doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's majority of the people that gods. I mean us as individuals.
Yeah.
Because I feel like everybody's a god, you know, in their own way.
Explain that. Yeah.
Like, I feel like everyone...
Because I kind of agree.
Everyone's a god, man. We're all here. We have the universe in our heads, in our cranium. And, you know, like... What's going to stop us? But God, in terms of, if you want to go as, like, religious, kind of...
Yeah, sure.
I don't think we're gods in religious terms.
What is
in religious
God
terms,
in a religious term?
I think God is like just one person or whatever they think it is, who you think it is, like one guy, right? They call him him. I think
masculine energy.
Yeah, masculine energy.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Why?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't feel that, so I don't go towards that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's my answer.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know is the answer that all scientists, no thinker has explained why our society, if you look at any culture, any tribe in the jungle to a city in Dubai, it's like nobody knows why we as a species gravitate towards a patriarch. Like a masculine energy is the head of the family. Like the father is the head of the house. The man has to go to war. Like, we don't know why that happens.
The wife, you gotta protect the kids.
Wife. It's very masculine,
animals, right?
Nobody knows why. And like science can't like justify, like you can try to justify it through like physical
levels.
It's like, like testosterone levels built, maybe muscles. But that's like a very dumb way of looking at it.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's so many other ways to look at it.
Yeah.
So it's essentially, I think we're all just gods in a not religious way. Maybe not even spiritual. Yeah. Maybe in like a more physical, because we are able to inspire. We're able to hand each other this trophy that we were talking about earlier, the creative, hand it off from the who I met you from.
Yeah.
And so I think like being able to even plant a seed and watch it grow and then eat the fruit and then throw the seed back in the ground
and grow it again.
It's like you are God because you have the ability to create life.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah.
And we can't Avatar Airbend, but
unfortunately,
because that would be sick.
Yeah.
But we can do what we can do, and that's beautiful. What? 100%. Like what? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And we can like tweak and alter the reality, right? It's like you can start a war if you're Trump. Like you can wake up one morning and just say, all right, I'm just gonna end everything. It's like I'm just gonna end everything.
The missile.
Yeah, just shoot the missile, and he like one man can destroy civilization. Like if he gave that order,
dude, like we can get nuked
Yeah, everybody dies.
I mean,
Everybody.
not that I think that's gonna happen. Because
Yeah,
I
no,
essentially
no.
don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think that's ever going to happen because it's ironic because the moment that we developed the nuclear atomic bomb
And everybody's racing the
race
race
to,
arms,
yep,
whatever.
and the scientist behind it, I forget his name, but he said, "Now I become now, fuck, I forgot the quote, but
You could
he
just
said
summarize it.
I could Google it actually.
You
Hold on,
could.
yeah.
Let's do that.
He said like, "Now I become death, destroyer of worlds." I'm pretty sure he said, as he created the atomic bomb. Now I become death, destroyer of worlds. Hold on, who said? Yeah, his name was Robert Oppenheimer. He says,
That's an interesting last name.
yeah.
Oppenheimer.
He said, I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. So,
Why did he say I am become death?
because I think that's a Hindu god in like Hindu mythology. I think one of the gods of destruction said that. And so
I am become death.
so the
So he's
translation
not death
from
yet.
I am become, yeah. I think he becomes the potential for death. It's like I am become death. So I am states that he is,
Right.
but at the same time, he is still yet to become. So it's still something that can happen, I guess. So it's like he is death. He's materialized death. Like the death of our species is created. It's a form of reality. It's concrete, but it hasn't become a reality yet in terms of execution, I think. So I think like when people started doing all those World War III memes on Twitter, like I found them amusing, but I don't think that'll ever happen because everybody's scared of mutual destruction, of mutual extinction. It's like like even North Korea that has a psychopath for a leader, like he could wake up like he'll never make that decision because it benefits no one.
Yeah.
So everyone's scared of scared to die.
How's it gonna benefit him?
It's not.
Yeah.
And also we're getting to a point now where economically speaking, it's more profitable for a nation, for the whole world to be at peace than to be at war.
How do you know this?
Because
I'd like to ask you that.
economies flourish.
I love that.
And stock market, like everything flourishes in a peaceful trade flourishes,
everybody's
everything
working together. And
exactly. So it's profitable.
And going, like I said,
making new
being
technologies.
used to change.
Exactly.
And every day is a different day. Some people are gonna make bad decisions.
Yeah.
And okay, let's go this way a little bit because we don't want to go with bad. So and that's how. And then we work, with them at the same time. We help. We give a hand, and we help them get into the better decisions.
Yeah.
So it's like we gotta do this together.
Exactly. And I think that with the advancement of technology, it's like our ability to resolve issues. I think that the threshold for mistake is incessantly decreasing as opposed to widening. Like people, for example, like we can approach the whole robots will destroy the planet route in like a positive way where like robots will, integrate with us and we'll become a more advanced species because of that. Like I think that the moment that someone, for example, is able to create an effective bionic arm that's 10 times as strong as the normal human arm, there will be people who are not amputees, like people like us, who will buy into the idea and who will want that even if they don't need it. So it'll get into that transitional period, in my opinion, where it goes from
Just like Botox.
Just like anything else, like plastic surgery.
But those are for appearances. You could use a botonic arm for some serious stuff.
Exactly. So like I think that everybody will become a cyborg thing because it'll get to a point where that need for a person who lost the arm at war, for example, who needs it, will become a want for us because then we'll realize, wait, but this little thing that we have here, like it can bleed if it's like very thin skin, like anything cuts it, like you can easily end your life right there. It's like, what if you can just
that's like the part
change it?
Yeah, it's like that's where it's like life is going like this, right?
Yeah.
It's like us and then like the whole technology thing. Because it's like we're getting so far away in some ways, like so far away from reality, like you were saying, that could be a bad thing, but it could be a good thing. Right here, like I think in the middle is like where it's like should be, but like you said, we don't know. Because nowadays you have kids who stay inside all freaking day, don't get off their phones, like are killing their eye cells, are not exercising, completely stunting their growth. That's, in my opinion, all the way like
throw
away life in a way, like
worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario. But in the middle is like, yeah, like both kind of working
Balance.
together, and like you got the future, like AirPods, like dope. Like I don't need a, don't have wires getting in the way. But at the same time, like, frequencies, bad frequencies, yes. But like at the same time, you exercise. Oh, okay, I'm back in the middle. Like,
just find that balance.
yeah, just find the balance,
Yeah.
like, and build your life and take care of yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Have you ever watched
Take care of life. We need to take care of life, like Australia burning and everything. Like, that's super important. We need to, like, in the spring, plant as many seeds as we can. And like, not even kidding, we need to definitely take control of our lives back. I think, like, plant our own food. That's super important. So.
Don't you think it's crazy with the Australia thing? It's like, don't you find
Sorry,
it fascinating?
I cut you off, by the way, before.
No,
We're about to get into something.
No problem. Don't you think it's fascinating how Australia was burning, right?
I heard smart cities are going up.
The what?
Smart cities are going up.
Growing up?
Going up.
Going up.
Smart cities, 2030, Agenda 2030. It's all tied in with the whole David Goldberg thing.
Oh, okay.
It's
Conspiracies
just,
and stuff.
It's just all making sense more and more.
Okay, so smart cities would be vertical cities,
Like
effective,
like
efficient.
LED, everything.
Okay.
Face recognition.
Yeah.
Everything, security.
China's already into that.
That's why they're protesting, and all these
China's
people are rebelling.
insane
And China's
right now.
going down right now,
Yeah.
and nobody knows because the media won't talk about it here.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. I saw this little
Like, we don't
snippet
nobody's even talking about Puerto Rico being demolished right
completely destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's serving as like a test ground, I feel like, for the American government because it's that only piece
now. They're
of
drilling, like, supposedly some Puerto Rican guy who worked with the government put a very viral video on the internet. Went viral for a reason, I guess, right? Because we were talking about the feel kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he said it. They're drilling for oil, like we were saying. We need to take care of life, and not only for profit to kind of move it forward.
Yeah, profit stagnates growth. I think.
Yeah.
It stagnates progress.
See?
Yeah. Because you're always trying to profit, so you prioritize this human construct, which is
Right.
money, which has no inherent value. Like, you can't eat it. You can't clothe and
Like you
money.
said, you
Like,
can
it's a
cut the
piece of
arm and it'll
paper.
bleed, but
Yeah.
this botanic arm will mess anything up. But then when this one runs out of battery, who's going to go change the battery?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Only if you have the money for it, and then you can buy a better one.
Yeah.
And then my fear too is
The middle.
The middle. Like
The middle's great.
Bionic arm becomes the iPhone type of thing, and then there's planned what? What's it called?
Like the fingerprint came out, and then this came out, and then the face recognition. It's just like a part of life, I guess.
And then iPhone 12 comes out, and your iPhone 10 starts bugging out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what's going on now? It's like,
Recording. You can ask, "Hey Siri."
yeah,
She's there,
yeah, she's listening. Yeah.
which is cool. I don't mind it.
I guess.
I'm not doing anything about it.
She's like gathering information and shit.
That's
Yeah.
cool, bro. I'm cool with that. I'm just
But-
trying to chill and make music.
I saw this
Plant seeds.
snippet of this interview where in China, for women to use the bathroom, they have this machine that gives them toilet paper. And this machine that gives them toilet paper, you have to request to get the toilet paper, and you have to do face recognition. And it accesses your profile, and
My
it gives
guy.
you
Oh,
a
this
strand
person's
of
taking a
toilet
poop.
paper. Yeah, literally that. Literally, like, they're tracking you,
On your poop.
the amount of toilet paper that you use.
And how much you poop,
Yeah.
technically.
Maybe how much you poop even.
Technically, because every time you go poop, they're
Technically,
going to scan
yeah.
your face. Oh, look, this person's taking
Yeah,
You're at the
yeah.
shitter.
And then they'll give you like a limited amount of paper. And if you take the paper and you request again with the facial recognition,
Gonna charge you.
It'll ask you to wait because you can't get more at that time. So like wait a few minutes for you to get it again.
What? My ass is still dirty, though.
Exactly. So like that's not their problem. Though. Like, so that blew my mind. I was like, what the fuck? So they do that for everything. And also when you're crossing, if you jaywalk and you don't cross on the
Oh, I was just saying this to
On the
friends.
pedestrian? Yeah.
You're going to lose credit in the future type shit. Like
that's what they're
you're-
doing in China.
Exactly. You're
Yeah.
going to lose credit. Like, you need to follow by the rules.
Yeah.
You can't
Point
Your
systems.
Tesla is only going to drive you to where it's database to.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to
That's true,
off-road into the wild and go enjoy the nature and
it's-
shit. Like,
yeah.
it's not gonna know how to get there because it's not programmed to.
Yeah.
And you won't know to because you've been living this life for so long that you don't even know what the
that's
outside world is like because you've been stuck in your Tesla looking at the screen the whole time. Oh, look at the beautiful world that I haven't even seen with my bare eyes before.
I never thought about that.
Bro,
That's
I've been
insane.
watching so many different things and like the world is just coming to me. But I
That's
love
insane.
it. I'm enjoying it, man.
That's insane.
I'm really enjoying it. Like,
that Tesla one about like not going off road.
yeah, no, I forget which one I was watching.
That's a metaphor for life.
Yeah, man.
Because, dude, Wall-E predicted
Wall-E, I
this.
love that movie, bro. And
Wall-E predicted
I
it.
just met a dog the other day. Her name was Eve, and I was like, "Oh, Eve, like from the movie Wall-E." And
Yeah.
the owner was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Yeah." It's my fucking. I don't know you, but you my fucking person.
Dude, Wall-E predicted the future perfectly. Like, that's what's gonna happen. The automation of vehicles, I never looked at it from that perspective, and that's brilliant because that's literally it. It's like they don't want you to think anymore.
They don't want you to.
They want
be
to
your own.
remove
That's why
independent thinking.
spraying the sky, the blocking the sun from growing our own plants.
5G networks are like
5G.
mind controlling or whatever now.
A little bit, kind of, because it like shifts your mood. Yeah. That's why I
Yeah.
had to get rid of it because I'm in a basement where everything's closed in.
That's why
I have
you
no
can't
windows.
sleep with this next to your head kind of thing.
Sometimes
because
I
the
fall asleep with my
frequencies and stuff.
phone on my back.
Yeah.
Even I'm like, ew, weird. I feel a little
And
weird.
you wake up weird.
And then
yeah.
people tell me like, how do you feel these things? I'm like, I guess it's in my mind. But your mind is the controlling of everything.
It's the antenna that
Exactly.
receives the frequencies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
nothing's here to harm you. It's just to move life forward.
Yeah.
Think about it like that.
Yeah.
And obviously be aware of the things you can do for yourself.
Yeah. Because again, if you get too caught up in that, then you forget to live.
Forget to live. That's
Just
what I
like
was
that
doing.
guy
That's
said,
what,
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I was doing when I was in
It's
that.
just too deep into that.
Too deep.
Do you know Alex Jones?
Nah.
No?
I mean, probably by face and
Dude.
stuff. I've heard of the name, I think. Like, that sounds, to me, it sounds
Alex
familiar.
Jones, if you're a
But I don't
conspiracy
know.
theorist,
But I
like
don't
you
know.
have to like
Really?
actually don't.
I mean, I'm not a conspiracy.
actually don't
I'm
because-
not, you're talking about this. I'm not. I'm
because yeah, no,
I'm a singer.
because if you dive into his content, you'll lose yourself because he talks like his stuff is deep. Like
Yeah.
he predicted the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing. He talks about interdimensional.
Is he the one that
pedophiles or
makes
whatever.
Simpsons?
No.
Okay, because he predicts that. The person who makes that predicts
yeah,
that.
the person behind Simpsons.
And they
is
predicted that
fascinating.
Trump's going to die, so.
I saw that too. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. He's gonna get
Sorry, Trump.
assassinated or something.
Sorry,
like that.
Trump.
Yeah.
I don't want you to die, but apparently.
And then tomorrow,
Simpsons said you are.
and then once I post this episode, I'll get the CIA knocking on my door, like black suits and stuff. It's like, we want to have a word with you, Mr. No, yeah. I saw that about the Trump thing. Like Simpsons is crazy because they predicted Trump getting elected. They predicted that scene of Trump going down the escalator and waving.
Same.
That blew my mind.
That blew my mind, too.
That blew my mind because that was years before, right? Like they predicted,
Years, bro.
unless Trump is a troll and he watched that. And then
Unless
he's
the
like,
past is the future.
Jesus,
I'm going home. Podcast
just
is done.
end the podcast right there. Unless the past is the future, just like I was telling you in the car.
That's
It's
what
like,
I'm
if it
saying.
already happened, then what?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said it. That's why I was going home.
So what if the Simpsons are in a time warp of their own and they abide by their own?
And how come it's been a show since I can remember?
Yeah, like 1990 something.
No, it's not even that. Like, my brain doesn't remember a time where The Simpsons wasn't a thing.
That's true too.
Does yours?
And I saw a theory about that too, right? On YouTube about, yeah, I think I saw something about that too. About how it's just always on and they never run out of things to do because, and they still manage to be relatable. But how can you be relatable? Like you can only,
Right.
like you'll,
Because how are you
like how are you getting so much stuff?
predicting
Yeah.
exact
What
and
we'll like and resonate
broadcasting?
with it.
I'm pretty sure they broadcast, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
like
still.
And
yeah,
people
yeah.
used to watch them, right? This is not like they're making like they're just putting this stuff on social media for us to see. Oh, like,
No,
this
no.
is they made that day, and they're like, oh, look, this is from this time, and no, like these videos, these episodes have been watched. You know,
They're on Disney Plus, I think, now because Disney Plus owns Fox now. So yeah.
yo, crazy because my boys got Disney Plus, and I've been watching all stuff on Disney Plus. I love Disney Plus. Honestly, like there's such a
a nostalgic.
finance like they want to make money. You know, they're such like a
They're
money
trying
driven.
to monopolize the
Yeah,
market.
exactly. I don't know if you watched some of the stuff I've watched about Disney, but whew,
Yeah, Disney's evil. Like,
Yeah,
Disney's
oh,
an
thank
evil
you. I
fuck.
didn't want to say that because a lot of people would attack me for that. But
Disney is evil as
they're
fuck.
evil as fuck. They're corrupt.
Evil people. Bro.
Evil people. They don't care about the kids.
Yeah. I started reading the CEO's book, where it's crazy because they try. I don't know, man. Like,
It's crazy world we live in.
it's a crazy fucking world, bro. It's crazy.
I love this world though.
It's crazy.
I'm loving it. 22 years in it.
What you said
and I'm
about
loving
about like whether or not it being good or bad, like it's necessary for progress, right?
Right, it is.
So relative to how we lived in the Middle Ages, for example, like Middle Ages, if you stared at somebody the wrong
up to
way, you
you
would get
if you
your
wanna progress,
head
too.
chopped. It's like violence, races. It's up to you really of how you maneuver in that society.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch Game of Thrones when it was?
No,
No.
it's another show everybody was watching.
It's a great show,
Didn't watch it.
except for the last
everybody
season.
said that, and I don't disagree. I believe it's a great fucking show because everybody said it, and when people say things, when I feel that they are, and I go, and they end up being
they
great.
actually are, yeah.
But for some reason, it's like a different time that I end up going.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like the same things with the albums. For some reason, it's just
True,
weird.
yeah.
Now I'll probably go watch it.
But the
Where
last
is it?
season kind of sucks.
Netflix?
No, it's on HBO actually.
Hulu.
So it's kind of harder to
Hulu
get.
Plus.
I think Hulu has it.
Yeah. Hulu has HBO.
Really?
Yeah. I used to have
never knew
Hulu because all my friends give me everything.
My friend
Dude,
has
I have, like, everybody says this. I always get stuff from people.
Yeah.
From friends. I'm always getting free stuff.
That's good.
Yo.
Yeah.
Always. And it's not like
Free
that
stuff
I'm-
is always great.
Yeah, it is great.
Yeah,
That's the crazy part because it's like life is just kind of like blessing me. It's like, and it's not like, okay, it's not life itself, but it's like everything about life.
That ties into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And my connections with life
Mm-hmm.
to the people,
Who's your greatest inspiration, music-wise?
music wise. That's a question I get asked a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have an answer.
A concrete answer.
Don't. Like
Do
one
you have
person.
a mix of maybe three
Like,
personalities
and
or
it
four
depends
or five?
what point in my life I was in. Depends.
That's huge for me too.
Like right now,
Mm.
I don't know.
Okay.
Like right now, I don't have biggest inspo because I'm focusing on myself so much in my business, in my life, in my music, in my relationships that I'm like, I don't have a main inspo. Also because we don't really see one person nowadays.
It's just a
Just
conglomerate. Yeah.
and that's fine.
It's weird,
But like we were saying earlier, Eminem was definitely
M&M's.
when I was like
Yeah.
still learning everything when I was in 6th grade, kind of getting bullied for some dumb stuff. But whatever, it happened. And he was there for me, you know? And he helped me, man. Everything he was talking about, I'm Not Afraid, was coming out at the time. He was recovering. He had just released Recovery. And oh man, that was a perfect time for him to release that stuff because I needed that. Lil Wayne dropped the world on your fucking head.
Yeah,
Like I needed that energy because that's how I felt. Like the kid getting bullied, thrown around and shit. And not just by other kids, which wasn't really the case. Maybe a little bit, but
But maybe
but
by
maybe by the
yourself, too.
world and by myself. I mean, I was young, so maybe not so much by myself. Because I was in 6th grade. I didn't even know really what
you
was
were,
what.
maybe.
I
Yeah.
didn't. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, Eminem had that like father figure in my life.
Yeah.
You know, because I know it's kind of personal, but like not that it was a bad thing, because I love the fact that this is how my life went. But I like my dad wasn't in a picture for majority of my life, so it's like
Me too. Yeah.
yeah.
same,
So Eminem was like the perfect dad.
So he
father
kind of
figure.
like stepped into those shoes.
Yeah,
stepped
and then
in.
I made an email back in the day, like when I was in school, in middle school. My email, my first Gmail was Shady Made Me
Oh really?
at Gmail with 2
Wow.
E's at the end. Don't email me a bunch of stuff, please. I don't even go on
Everybody
that.
email him out at that email.
So that was my first email. People used to make fun of me for that, like just for little stuff. I was like, he was really the person that I looked up to.
That's-
And it wasn't because of his status or his music. I mean, his music too, but because he
Or-
expressed himself. But it was real.
Yeah.
Like his life was real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He put it into picture.
He packaged it and
He
delivered
packaged
it.
and
to
passed
people.
me the
Yeah.
trophy, like we were talking about. Passed me the torch, not the trophy, because fuck a trophy.
Yeah. Fuck trophy.
Fuck a trophy.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
That's the ultimate form of art, right? It's the art that
Like I'm gonna give you Eminem because
yeah. Oh yeah.
The beginning, that was him. And like he drove me towards hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
He drove me towards everything drove me away from the down feeling I was feeling at the time. I was depressed. My mom was too busy working to sustain the house, my sister and me. She had her own problems, you know. And because he wasn't in my life, she was already going through shit since then. So it's like, I don't, you know, whatever. So he helped me. He motivated me, and he was already in the American, like, I don't know, like the American evolution kind of.
Okay.
You know, as people, and like what we can do with ourselves and how we can succeed. I saw that, like, okay, he's successful, you know. Like no matter what people did, no matter what people said, no matter how different he was, because he was white and everybody else was different than he was at the time where he was from. And he still made an impact.
He was the archetype for the American dream type of thing. Like he was the ideal. Like the representation that it's possible.
Yeah. Not that music, because I didn't even know, like, I really wanted to do music at that time. Just because, like,
just like in life,
just the feel that we were talking about.
Story-wise,
I felt him.
Storytelling.
And I felt him, and I wanted to, like, be that same kind of motivation to others. So that's something I still hold with me, yes, for sure.
What you said about depending on how you feel and where you're at in life, like that's my approach for ranking art, like any form of art. Like people will ask me like, oh, like what are your top 10 favorite albums of all time? I can't respond to that.
Me either.
Because at one point in my life, J. Cole's Forest Hills Drive was my favorite album and was my Bible, for example. Yep. And then at another point in my life, like now, I'm like listening more to, I guess, Blueprint, Jay-Z, you know, like
I haven't even heard anything
like that.
But I probably will now.
It like alters between. So, like, I don't know if you noticed this, but on my Instagram, I enjoy sharing.
Yes, what you're listening
to. Yeah, pictures coupled with what I'm listening to, because
that's the power of Instagram now.
Because, dude, like literally, like music to me is what gospel.
When you go to the gym, boom, you put the song that just
motivates
resonates. You to work out a little harder. Maybe.
Exactly.
Puts you in that state of mind, like grind, kind of.
And it's weird too, because you can put a song that's motivational in like the beats per minute, for example, like BPMs, like accelerated, like you would think that it's a good workout song. But if you're not feeling it mentally or emotionally or feeling the song, just like you say, you won't have the same output.
Like Linkin Park, he makes a very like sad feel kind of music, but like outraged kind of. It depends, because you can't, if you're happy as fuck at the gym, you're not going to listen to Linkin Park, even though it's going to pump you. But if you're feeling down, the world's been fucking with you today.
Then you use that as like...
And you put on that Linkin Park and you go to the gym. And like,
you go ham, yeah.
But it's because you feel like that.
Yeah. Exactly. And like, I like to play around with the whole concept of like horoscopes, for example. Do you believe in horoscopes?
I love astrology.
So I
don't know much about it, because I know there's people that know my rising this, my this and that. I'm like, I don't know.
I know people like that. Yeah, too. I'm just very careful as to not make my life and my existence predicated on any human construct.
Me either.
So like that's why I tend to like deviate from religion. I tend to stay away from all of these constructs, all these like manifestations of human beings. Like literally
the same.
Manifestations of human beings portraying as authority figures of something that they in reality have no certainty of. So it's like, what happens after death? Oh, you go to purgatory, you go to heaven or hell. Like, how do you know that, bro? Like, who told you that? Did you speak to God? Show me God. Put him on the phone. Let me talk to him.
Right.
Can you tell me that right now? Yeah. Make God appear right now. Jesus was real. Walk on water.
You know, people who studied the Bible, they say that you kind of have to like hand yourself over to Jesus, right?
Yeah.
You have to be like a follower of Christ. But that in itself is already, that he died for us, kind of in a sense.
Yeah.
So that's already, we're good.
Counterdicting.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
You know? I think we're just here to learn.
I think that the Bible itself, like if you study it, it's a book of like a lot of metaphors. I think that their way of communicating, and this ties back to what we said at the beginning of like people's just thought differently. Like their chemistry was differently, like the way that their neurons connected with each other, like they weren't as advanced as we are. I think that they just created, like that was their way of like telling stories. It's like turning water to wine, just turning simplicity
Yeah,
to elegance, or like it's not like literally turning water to wine. I
they
don't
probably
think.
smashed some grapes and threw some water in.
Maybe that, yeah.
Physically, that's
Yeah.
like I said, we're gods because we can do that.
Exactly.
You can plant a seed.
Perfect, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes you a god.
Maybe it could have even been just that, like
Yeah.
turning water, planting a seed, it turns into a grape, to wine, and then it's like that process.
Exactly.
But in the book, people may think, oh, like Jesus just was holding this. And
Magic.
Magic, yeah. So
My
it's
life
a metaphor.
is saved.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
you save yourself. Yeah.
So walking on
But
water.
of course, the Bible is very important at the same time because
No, 100%.
because look how long it's traveled.
Yeah.
No one can extinguish it.
Yeah. And also it's responsible for our moral structure.
Yes.
Without the Bible, everybody would just commit treason against each other, against themselves, and kill themselves and kill others. Like, what's the point of life? What's the point of us having the social contract? And then the social contract is predicated on Christian ideals of soul and spirits and all that stuff. Yeah. So it just all comes full circle. So it's a necessary thing. But
And the whole also like with souls being trapped,
yeah.
souls being free, you know,
Okay.
like the light kind of aspect, you know, I think that's something we're still
Yeah.
figuring out.
Yeah.
Like I've had experiences, spiritual experiences where I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I felt these
felt it.
shifts, like the light aspect and like
I felt those too. And
Yeah.
I could never really bring them to
you
words.
can't put your finger on it.
You can't.
It's
Like,
undescribable.
I'll have moments where I'll just have that inner dialogue with myself. And this is kind of personal, but I'm okay with sharing. Like, it'll sound ridiculously stupid maybe to some people, but I'll have like those moments maybe where I'm like having this inner dialogue with myself. And then I'll like kind of prompt myself to like, okay, can you give me a sign? Like, can you, like, I don't even know who I'm speaking to because
Right.
I'm not religious. So it's not like every single day I pray to God, I pray to what specific entity. It's like, I'll just like have those inner dialogues.
You
And
want
then
a
I'll
sign
feel
from what you're feeling.
from what I'm feeling. And then I'll get goosebumps sometimes, head to toe goosebumps out of nowhere.
And that's your sign.
And that's my sign. And then
But you don't even know what it is.
I don't even know what it
but
is.
you know that you know.
But I know that it's something.
Yeah,
right?
it's something, man.
But I don't know what it is.
But it's that you're discovering.
Yeah.
That's what the moon and the whole aspect of like discovering life. If you go on my Instagram, we can go on Instagram up here.
Oh, yeah,
Let's
true.
do that.
It's just
If
easier.
you go on my Instagram and you go to like one of my first posts ever on this account.
All right, guys, we're on his Instagram. First one, all the way down.
One of the first ones, yeah. Right there. Boom. That's in Kearney, right in front of the Board of Education.
Okay.
Right there by Millen Dairy. Read that. I wrote that as a caption.
All right, hold on. Let me go closer. I've been curious since a child, always questioning things that no man could answer. I never understood. I always wondered and wondered how. There's more to this life than what we know. Don't try to stop me. I'm going to keep questioning. I'm going to keep wandering. I'm going to keep discovering.
And that's what I felt in my heart. For some reason, looking at this picture, look, the helicopter,
Yeah.
kind of like our physical creation, you know, just,
And
and
then
then,
the
life
moon.
itself, something that is untouched,
Yeah.
you know, something we don't
Pure,
know. We haven't even, the whole, have we been to the moon yet? Like, who knows, you know,
knows, yeah.
if it was faked or not. I mean, I think it was, but regardless, it's just like, and then you got the light inside and all the wires, you know, like us just doing what we do as humans in the building. And I knew something is out there, but like at the same time, I'm grounded and I'm in the middle of society and what's gonna, I don't know. But
And
this was awesome because like 143 week. Oh no, 2017 right there.
17. And that juxtaposition and contrast of, just like you said, of a natural thing.
Yeah, I just took a random picture real quick because I liked
Yeah.
it. I saw the helicopter coming. It's like, well, I like taking pictures of random stuff. So
See, that to me is as much of art
Yo,
than
for
a
real.
Picasso, for example, right?
I love this picture and the post. And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
looking back at it blows my mind sometimes because I'm like, wow, I was
You just
on the right
felt it.
path. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just felt it. Like,
I'll
and look
have
where
those
I am
moments
now,
too,
bro.
yeah.
Like, you know, with you here, like,
Yeah.
life is great.
I'll have those moments.
Life's great.
And that's why when you'll go through my stories, for example, you'll see I'll post like this random picture of like an airplane engine.
Yeah.
And
Like,
then I'll couple it with like a hip hop verse. And I swear to God, I'll go on Twitter and then I'll see that picture and then it reminds me of that song.
bro.
And then I'll just feel it. And then I just feel the need to just share
Connect,
it.
yeah.
Like there's no purpose behind it. Like I don't post it for someone to like comment and say, yo, this is fun. No, it's just like, I just need to do it.
One of your things fell and it just like shook me because
fell?
we're talking about spiritual things and signs.
Oh shit.
But
Oh, fucking scared me like that.
you scared. I mean, you didn't scare me, but that thing scared me.
I saw you like looking over me.
yeah,
I'm
like
like,
that.
who's standing behind me, bro? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Holy shit, dude.
And we're talking about like signs and stuff.
Yeah, and, like,
just like being spiritual.
Whatever. But yeah, something did fall back there. So
No, yeah. It's the foam thing because it's getting.
it's taped and
Yeah.
one was already off, so it
And
makes
they're
sense.
always falling down.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's just tell ourselves that so we don't freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
This
we
is
can-
us coping.
So we
with
can
that.
finish the podcast.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, yeah. And speaking of finishing the podcast, I was actually about to. So we did an hour and 40. So like
Oh,
towards
that looks like 2 hours and 40. But
yeah, no.
I was gonna say, like,
yeah.
I wanted to say like 15 minutes into it, 20 minutes into it, to do make sure like a camera check.
No. It's
Okay, cool. Just
It's all good. Yeah.
because this is
1
legendary.
hour. 1 hour and 40. Imagine if none of the cameras were recording.
Shut the
if
fuck
the
up.
if the microphone
This was
just
great.
cut off.
Like, I don't. Now we need this information. I mean, at least we got the recording here because I'd always love to come back
Yeah.
eventually,
Yeah.
like,
No, for sure.
and listen. But
Yeah.
I want to
And-
definitely put out the visual and
No,
everything for the people to connect to.
100%. And I'll create like the highlights and everything just like I do before. Are there any other questions that we missed maybe?
There are. I think we talked about what do I fear the most, and
Yeah. DMs already too.
yeah, we replied to a DM. How has the music life done you?
I think we spoke a
We
little
kind of tapped into that.
about being authentic, about how
yeah.
to navigate that realm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How the music life has done me. I guess I could give them a little more about that.
I actually want to start on this topic and then we'll organically find our way to that. I think I just really wanted to touch on this because like as an artist, I think that you'll resonate with what I'm about to say. And it's regarding Mac Miller, right? So his last two albums even, Swimming and then there's Circles.
Swimming in circles.
Swimming in Circles, which kind of which is brilliant. And then he was
fucking
supposed to
crazy.
put out so
Because that's
basically-
what everything. Remember when I told you about the
That's the
cycle,
rat race.
the endless
Yeah.
cycle about the,
that too, yeah.
and like him dying right before that, another universal shift.
Yeah.
But continue.
Yeah, no. So what I wanted to like kind of touch on is just how he was in that mindset of kind of already knowing what
Yeah.
his fate was going to be, which blows your mind, right?
Kind of
which
blows my
maybe
mind
even
because-
attracts it, right?
exactly. Like
Maybe,
he could have
yeah.
lived the longest life.
But he was attracting that negative energy.
He
maybe,
attracted that, but
Yeah.
he put that. But like I don't know.
put that onto himself.
But
kind of thing.
artistically,
Yeah.
which is insane.
Yeah. So artistically speaking, what I'm trying to get to is like
Like I can't. We can't decipher it. It's
He
the
made-
light. It's the whole light thing
Yeah.
that we were talking about. We can't put a finger on it.
you can't. And then Circles came out after he died, obviously.
Right.
And it's the most vulnerable piece of art that he has ever put out and that I have ever listened
Vulnerable by like
to. Vulnerability in terms of transparency. So like that's
Because-
what I'm trying to get to. It's like
how he.
it's like
Composes
at the
and-
point where he was kind of at peace with the inevitability of his demise, that he produced one of the most beautiful pieces of art that he had ever produced before, which was Circles and even Swimming.
Wow.
Because Swimming, he was at the point of no return already. So it's kind of like he's at the point where he wants to spill his soul into this vessel of music and artistry, and he has no other need for it in any other sector of his life, because to him, he's already at his end. So
'Cause
that was his
He was
deathbed
like, I mean,
confession.
is like I don't know. That's where it's confusing with
Yeah.
depression.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
there's so much in life to experience.
To look forward to.
To look forward to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
'Cause that's
And
what
he
life's
was always
about.
filled with joy too. Like, he was always like smiling.
That's what's
Interviews, he was
fucking
always crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
And like everybody trying to blame Ariana Grande and
Yeah.
relationships.
Which I think is fucked up. Because even
But,
with
like,
her
think
new
about it, though.
relationship, he
Think
said
about
that
it.
he was
It
going to
could-
kill himself
Yeah,
too.
it could be possible that she had a little bit of an effect on him.
Maybe. Yeah.
You know, not that he was like, Ariana. No.
Yeah.
But sorry for that.
No,
That was
yeah,
kind of ridiculous,
yeah.
obnoxious. But just to like, that's not him.
Yeah.
That was not him. I don't think he would ever do that.
Yeah.
Not that he, you know. But I think it was like more of just depression itself.
Yeah.
His
probably.
mentality.
Yeah. Just
Everything
what it
he's
was.
been through.
Because his music,
What got him to that point?
he even said that I heard the sky's still blue. Like he doesn't leave the house.
Like we were
anymore.
talking
Like, he
about, bro.
doesn't- Yeah.
Like everything's how it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
For him, he did everything he had to with his life. And he knew, like, oh, I can affect the world in a good way.
Yeah.
But things are always going to be both.
Yeah.
Like we said,
Yeah.
things are always going to be good and
Yeah,
bad.
balance.
So he just rather
Yeah.
kind of, I don't know.
Would you live forever
Life is
if you
delicate.
had the opportunity? Like if we reach a point in medicine where you can become
No.
immortal, not immortal. So immortal, I don't think it'll ever happen. Immortal means that you will live indefinitely unless outside catastrophe happens to you. So unless you get hit by a car, you'll live forever.
Right.
So if you manage to like live inside a
Immortal.
cubicle, immortal. It's like
No.
biological
Hell no.
illnesses won't kill you. You won't
Fuck no.
age. You won't age at all. Like
Fuck that.
no. Why
What's
not?
the point?
What's the point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like life is given to you for a reason.
Death gives
It's like a little
meaning to it.
flower. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't have life without death. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like, what were we here to put here to do? You know, like,
Yeah.
we're here to do whatever we're here to do. I don't know, but I know we're here to live. You know,
Yeah.
and eventually die. And then, like, if a flower isn't gonna die, how can it grow?
Yeah.
So there's no growing, there's no learning, there's nothing to do. Once I learned, that's what I'm saying. I feel like he learned everything he felt like he had to learn.
Yes. And then it comes into like
And
the,
like
the
he was
age,
wise, yeah. He was.
the age of
he had
his
the
soul.
knowledge.
Yeah, older
He was
souls.
wise. He didn't want to do any harm
Yeah.
to anyone.
Yeah.
Like I said, but he hurt himself.
Yeah.
He hurt himself a lot.
I think he hurt his family more.
Yeah.
Like people around him.
Yeah,
by
I mean, by
taking himself.
dying.
Yeah.
Not that it was his decision,
Yeah.
but there's definitely people hurt right now. Even fans,
No, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
for sure. So
No, yeah,
that's my like.
yeah. And also death is the great equalizer, right? So for example, Jeff Bezos is going to die as of right now one day, right?
Right.
You're going to die one day, so that equalizes you too. So I think that medicine will advance to a point where we become immortal.
Right.
And then the elite
Like we
will
had a fake heart.
Yeah, fake heart, like everything's
that.
improved. I think that death is a technical issue. We viewed it. I think that, look, throughout the history of humanity, we wasted all of our time giving meaning to death rather than solving it. So I think that now we're going to make that transition.
We
and
probably
view
will.
it-
Yeah, for
and
sure.
view it as a technical
'Cause
issue.
Jeff is working on the future, and
Yeah, Jeff Bezos is like
He's working-
operating like
he's-
10
yeah.
years ahead. Like his policy for his company is to operate 10 years ahead of the time that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
So they're developing product lines and things that are 10 years ahead.
like in the future, basically.
In the future, like they live in the future,
Right.
in the present, which is genius if you think about it.
Mm-hmm. Of course, because that's
So
what's
you're
coming.
always ahead. Yeah.
That's what's
And you're
coming.
always ahead of the competition. And so once we develop that technology of becoming immortal, the elite, like anything else, like any new technology, will be the first to gain access to it. And then you'll see that shift in dynamic too of where us,
Middle class.
middle class, lower class, high class, even like only the elite of the elite will be able to gain access to that. So they'll become gods. And then how will we react to that dynamic? And then once you're immortal, you'll live constantly anxious and just filled with anxiety because you'll be driving and be like, oh shit, I can't fuck this up because I'm immortal. I spent all this money on this technology on advancing my existence, but I can be killed at any moment through like a
Your mind
so you're
is
constantly
dope.
like
Yeah.
that. No, but that's what like I think
Bro.
about. It's like people even then like they'll create problems to that. Like you become
Yeah.
a god, but then you
Yeah.
have consequences, so you'll never become a god.
Yeah, you just might as well just live a normal life.
Yeah, just live a little more normal life, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's just
You just don't make it complicated. Like, the least will definitely make it that complicated.
yeah. I just yeah. So what were we gonna organically transition into once I started with the Mac thing?
I don't know, honestly. You just wanted to you're gonna ask me about how's the music life done?
Oh yeah.
But you were getting into that Mac Miller. Oh, like
Yeah.
maybe what I think music will do to me in the future of my life, maybe. And that's why I think it's important for me to follow my business. Because I will control my life. I will control my success. I'll control my freedom.
Creative freedom.
My creative freedom.
That's what's most important.
And I think it's like, do I want to create being pressured into it and being obligated or persuaded into it ever? No, I never did that.
Yeah.
I've never done it. I've never done it.
Yeah.
And I probably won't be able to. So once you put me in that position where I have to write the hit songs for the labels, I'll become nobody.
Using these 10 keywords,
I'll become nobody.
Yeah.
And I will fade away into the rest. But as long as I stay who I am and follow my dreams, my passions,
Follow your truth.
I'll have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Always.
I feel like that's what artists are now, right? Like the marketing team comes in, sits you down, and says, Andrew, look, these top 10 words are trending right now. Rolls Royce
These
truck,
artists,
this and this. So
this worked
integrate
for them.
this because this demographic right here is your target demographic. So instead of you curating your inner creative side and soul and spirit, you're going down that path. So that was the last question, right? Because we're closing in at 2 hours.
Yeah.
So at the end of every episode,
there is the proud to be
one more?
American thing.
Which
we kind of
is the American dream type of thing that we kind of
touched on. Yeah.
So are there any others aside from that one?
Got the inspiration. How the music life done you? Biggest life lesson I wrote down randomly.
What was your biggest life lesson? Up until this point, because like the question itself, life lesson, like you have 60 years more of life to experience, right? So
for sure. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But
as of right now,
one thing that like I mean, when I was in high school, that's when I went through like my realize. Like freshman year, I fucked up. Sophomore year, I was like, oh shit, no, I can't do sports.
Okay.
Kind of thing, consequence. So I think lesson comes from kind of consequence. Like when you do something you don't know the consequence, and then you get the consequence, and then that's when you're learning from the consequence, because it might not be you might put you in a position you don't want to be in. So my biggest life lesson that happened to me was probably around that time in high school when like I really just started throwing things away. Like, and by me saying that, I mean like morals, like I was smoking cigarettes. Like I don't smoke. Been 2 years in December since I quit cigarettes. And I used to smoke in high school, drink, was experiencing drugs, you know what I'm saying? Like majority of the kids are. And I think that was my biggest life lesson, because you're taking advantage of life. You're disregarding the things you're blessed with. Your healthy lungs, healthy teeth, healthy life, healthy everything. You got everything you need to thrive in this world, and you're just fucking throwing it away. But we're young and we're clueless, and we're getting protected way too much. We're getting hidden and I'm gonna protect you by lying to you and hiding things, but it doesn't really work all the time. So I think my biggest life lesson for myself is really seeing the world for myself. That was like a life lesson, because like seeing the world for myself showed me like, like can't be ungrateful. Can't be playing games. Life ain't a game. And like, so that was it,
And kind of just making your own decisions and your own educated assessments, right?
Exactly.
And not abiding by standards, just like you said, about being a part of a little tribe,
being a part of a little friend group that used to smoke, and they were good people that had good hearts, and that's why I connected with them. But
the habits override friendship and the value of that friendship.
Exactly.
Right?
And that's where you make the decisions to split off.
Or either find yourself.
You find yourself by yourself.
Yeah.
Anything like that.
That's great. Yeah. Consequences and just failures, like personal failures, and then learning from those things.
That's like that was the time when like the biggest life lesson, because that's when I made like the biggest shifts in my life. That opened all the other doors, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like once I made the decisions to put even this like cigarettes, I think it was 2018. Before that, 2017 December, obviously. Maybe it was, because we're in 2020, but we haven't hit December yet, obviously. So it's 2017. So essentially, that's when I put it down. And I had already in the past been, since high school, been like back and forth. Like junior year, I did cross country, and I made varsity in 3 weeks.
Oh shit!
Of running, yeah. And I fell in love with running. Running was like my way to exercise, my way to, like, depression wasn't even a thing at the time. I mean, I was young, so I was barely ever depressed. Yeah. I mean, still young now, but I was in high school, so you're mixed with everything, so you're not, So me running was like everything. I made new friends. I was exactly like splitting off from the wrong crew and stuff. That like opened so many doors. So once I got to that point, it like showed me a lot. And then after being a senior, this and that, and then finally getting away from school and not going immediately into college, which was a good thing, because I knew off rip the seniors were all like, "Oh, I'm gonna wear this shirt for picking my college," and they didn't even know like what college they're going to. Like branding, they just everybody wants to show off. Like, I'm going to this college. And I didn't know. I'm like, I'm not going to any college. I'm like, fuck, okay, damn. Like, what do I got to do? Remember I was telling you I was about to go to the Navy. Yeah. So I was like, what do I do? And then just like didn't know what to do, and I want to make people proud, and I was still doing a little bit of wrong stuff because I wasn't fully tapped into who I was. So I was still, not being fully grateful, still smoking here and there, and fucking up, drinking too much, whatever. So eventually, I went through a psychedelic experience, and that shit like boom smacked the shit out of me. It was like the whole, from like all the lessons since the discovering thing that we talked about on Instagram up until the high school, and like I was fascinated about how like beautiful and delicate life is, existing is. So shoo.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah, it was cool. Life's dope.
Yeah. Are there any other questions?
Nope.
So
we didn't get many questions off the Instagram live, but
but we touched on crazy amount of topics.
Yeah, we did, man. For the first episode, that was definitely a lot of good topics for sure.
So at the end of every episode, what I like to do is I like to ask the guest to imagine that they are now stepping onto the world stage. You are given a microphone, which is the one in front of you, and any and all words that you'll utter into that microphone will be translated into the language of every single person on this planet, and they'll understand it perfectly. And you have this opportunity now to say whatever you feel like saying. It could be one word, one sentence, one question, one statement. It could be follow me on the gram. It could be whatever you want people to hear you say right now. You're given this opportunity to convey a message
to everyone in the world.
To humanity. To humanity. To that camera right there.
To humanity.
To humanity. What would you tell them?
That's a hard one, because like, to humanity.
Don't overthink it.
But like humanity. I love you.
Yeah. And then while you do that, I'm just gonna turn the little beeping thing off.
I'm just gonna think about this for a second.
Just say what you're feeling. Yeah. Just like, don't overthink it.
I feel good, and I want you guys to feel good. And I want you guys to have something to look forward to. I want you guys to take a step back when things seem when you're feeling too suffocated. Give yourself a break. tap in to the things we should be grateful for, like having a tree right outside, you know, that produces our air. I'm not gonna dive too deep in, but just for small things like that, when you're feeling too tapped in, get away a little, you know, go check out the newest technology that just came out.
Yeah.
You know, go get the AirPods you wanted.
Yeah.
Make your life easier, but keep looking forward
And keep moving forward.
keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Keep looking forward and keep moving forward. Sometimes you're gonna have to turn around and look back, even though people say, "I never look back." Fuck that. It's good to take a step back
Learn from it.
and look back and look at where you are now.
Mm-hmm.
Learn from the past. Look at where you are now, and then like optimize for the future.
That's perfect.
And just, that's what I feel like this podcast episode was about. Mainly, it was like,
Main takeaway.
yeah.
All right, that's
Kaylee,
that's a fucking crazy.
Oh,
Callie.
whatever it is, man. I know it is Callie, but I kind of like Kaylee. Not gonna lie.
It's a weird name. I get that a lot, but yeah, man, that was a very dope, crazy.
Yo, thank you
crazy
for having
deep
me, man.
Message, and thank you
I
for coming
appreciate
on.
you.
Thank you for believing in this.
I believed in
And
this
the
since the
vision.
beginning, man.
And then we'll have to do a.
It's just happening, so how can I not believe in it?
Yeah, exactly. It's real, right? Because I feel it. We'll definitely do a second episode.
For
in the,
sure, in
in
the
the
future.
new FiberCast studio, like you'll
Or in the
check
past.
it out. Or in the past.
Oh my god.
You decide what that means to you, because that was the
For
takeaway
real.
from this podcast.
Yeah, you decide.
So either you're gonna
Exactly.
listen to it in the past when I release it, or you already listened to it in the future.
That makes perfect sense to me in my
Does
head
it
now.
really?
Yeah, like if you're gonna listen to it in the past, because
Yeah.
we're gonna be in the future.
I'll just end it right there. Thank you guys.
Ciao.